All right, welcome to another song title challenge where the question is, climbers, how should you write this one? Brent and I wanted to kind of pull back the curtain on the Wizard of Oz and all the pro songwriters here in town to give climbers a glimpse on how the creatives think, like the approach that they use. How we want to continually show you how they dare to suck. That's what's really good, right? So if you want your song title to maybe be fleshed out by a pro, by a hit songwriter, then send your title into info@daredevilproduction.com. Remember, production is singular. There is no S. info@daredevilproduction.com. You have to put song title challenge or STC in the subject line. That way it gets into the right folder. Okay. If you don't, it might not get in there, guys. I get a lot of crap that I just, rapid fire delete. And, I believe me, we want the titles. So, we get bunches of them. And just like anybody's hookbook, there's a whole lot of stuff and a few kind of cool ones. You know what I mean? So it's like the more the merrier. You can send in as many as you want. Don't send me like duplicates. I've gotten everybody out of that habit. I'm proud to say. So they'll have a list, right? And then they'll add one more to the list and they'll resend the list. And it's like,
No.
we don't need that. Like, you can send in as many as you want, as many emails, no deal there. But this is a fun creative exercise. It's not a co-write in any way, shape, or form. So you can take the ideas that we come up with on the show and use them and run with them. A lot of people have. Mm-hmm. You can say that all those ideas suck and your way was better and run with that. It's up to you. The only thing we demand is an invite to the number one party. And I also, in my rider for this contract, have a demand for an open bar, and Brent has a demand for childcare. That's right. So he can bring his wife. So that's what goes on there. And the final thing is, guys, this is a fantastic exercise creative exercise for you to spend and a short one, right? Like 15, 20 minutes on your old titles in your hookbook that you haven't given any attention to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Because Brent, testify. What happened?
Well, sometimes I tell my own story, but I just saw on like Facebook, I think it was Randy Maynard who he sent in a song. I think we did this one challenge with Kent Blasey, like one of our early ones, bringing in guests, save me a seat. And I saw that like it's coming out on somebody. I'm like, dude, is that the one from the song title challenge? He's like, yes. So I believe I have those facts. I'm not looking at that in front of me, but if that's true, awesome. So congrats. Other people are getting cuts. I'm getting cuts from songs like old titles that I'm taking in, doing my song title challenge, bring them into the room. And I got a song that was just on a Grammy nominated record. That's an old title that was, a song title challenge and brought into some great people, ended up on a record. So yeah, we're not just doing this for the show. I do it when the red button is not being pressed. So I do it for myself.
There you go.
So,
well, awesome. Why don't you introduce our guest today? Yeah. This is a guest that's very close to my heart.
I'm sure you will do your own personal intro since you've known him longer than I've known him, but I'll do the official one. Today's guest is a 20-year-old country artist, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist from Trinity, North Carolina. He's been writing songs since the age of 7, performing since the age of 9. He was featured in the Bluebird documentary alongside Kelsey Ballerini for his original song Lost Boy, which is a response to the number one single Peter Pan. His song To Get a Girl was cut and released as a single by Black River artist Josiah Siska. He's currently focused on writing and releasing songs for his own artist project and building his catalog with his publisher friends over there at Demolition Music. And we've written a few times together, and he's a nut. So I have no idea what's about to happen. Landon Wall, welcome to the Climb.
Welcome to the show, y'all? Buddy.
What's good? How y'all doing?
Oh my God. Good, man. I'm so excited to have you on here, dude. I just, as somebody kind of sitting in the cheap seats watching your progress, I'm so thrilled with what you've done. I'm so proud of you. I got the honor of being able to work with Landon and back, man, when you're like 14, right? Like
I was a baby, man.
Yeah. So 6 years ago. And I will tell you, like at that time, there was still like a lot of eyes on you. man, at that point. You know, a lot of people just kind of waiting for you to do what you needed to do, but everybody was keeping close tabs on you. And we used to book shows with you and Ava Page and Taylor
Yes,
Gale, who
sir.
now goes by Gale, who's,
For sure.
turned into a big old hit artist with the
Oh, yeah.
ABCD a few songs. And just all y'all have just done so great. The three, and you guys, they would do these rounds. And I just have to tell you that, like, I've been to a lot of songwriter rounds, a lot of big hit songwriter rounds. And these three kids at the time, y'all were 14, it was so much more entertaining than any other. Because y'all had your sense of humor and you were just like super quick with the comments and stuff and going back and forth between the three of you. It was really something special, man. And
It was so much
uh,
fun, man.
yeah, I love what you're doing, buddy. I'm always just rooting for you. And every time I turn around, you did some other milestone. So keep it up.
Yeah,
That
I
means a
love
lot,
having you
buddy.
here.
Thank you so much.
yeah, it's funny, Landon, because
Absolutely.
Landon and I've been writing together over the past maybe like year or so, here and
Yes,
there.
sir.
But man, been hearing your name for many years through Johnny, and I mean, listeners, longtime climbers. I mean, they started hearing your name probably like for me was like 3 houses ago, like from the early days.
Literally.
Yeah, like hearing about
Awesome.
Landon and Ava and kind of that crew, and then so I've gotten to know you now, so that's fun, and yeah, it's a
Yes,
good time.
sir.
We wrote some good songs together.
Oh, man, I love them all,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Let's
All
see what
right.
we can
Well,
damage. Let's see how we can mess this up.
speaking of the songs, are you guys ready? Here we go.
Not ready, and that's the fun.
So this comes in from a climber that I don't believe, I don't think that we have used any titles from this climber before. So I think that's hopefully I'm right about that. But it's a new somebody new contributing to the titles, which I love, and that is Adam DeWeber.
Oh, Adam, man, I know Adam. He's a member of Songwriting Pro. I've worked on a song with him and Chelsea Stallings. Good dude, good
There you
writer.
go.
Yeah,
And it's DeWeber, right? Not DeWeber. It's DeWeber.
DeWeber, I believe so.
Okay, cool. So I got that right. And here is so this title. I always give the hot take on it here. It, in some ways, I feel it might be kind of specific, but because of the way that he sent it in, which I'm going to explain to you,
Okay.
man, there could be a lot of maybe some different ways that we could go with this. It could broaden it out a little bit. So it'll be very interesting to see what we come up with. But the title is Excommunication.
All right.
Excommunication. Now, the way that he sent it in was with a hyphen. So X hyphen communication, right?
Yeah.
Which is
The first
one way to
thing,
go.
well, second thing I thought of, yes.
But, being excommunicated as well, running with it that way. I mean, there's a lot of ways we could go. So this is interesting to see what we can come up
Yeah,
with here.
thanks for sending that in, Adam. I'll hit you later. All right, excommunication. Yeah, so just to start off, first thing, the low hanging fruit. First thing, if I think of is like, I'm a Protestant, so I'm not.
Oh, wait.
All up into
Before you
this.
go, I don't mean to break your flow. We forgot to Landon. Landon, you can also free to put anything before or after the title to mess it up and change the direction of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
Bye,
sir.
buddy.
So first thing I think of is being excommunicated from the Catholic Church. Like that's the general context in which I've heard that phrase, like getting basically kicked out of the church. You're no longer welcome in the church, which I don't know exactly what that song would be about. So the country songwriter in me, here's the dash, the communication from your ex, which could be. Now I want to go. How do we meld those two together? Like it's like she was my heaven, da 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 da. Now all I got is excommunication. Like is kind of how she's talking to me and the she's looking me the bird, that kind of stuff. And she won't, she's giving me the hand. She won't talk to me, and that's I was in heaven. She was my angel. Now I just got excommunication or something. Like that's I don't know. That's like how do you marry those two things?
That's really good. Well, I mean, what? I don't know how often it probably hasn't been used in country a lot because maybe it would be on the side of blasphemous. But in rock and roll, we certainly talk openly about how somebody else can be like your religion.
Yeah,
like you're so into them, and she was my religion, she was my church, she was everything, and that now all I got is excommunication. That's That's pretty powerful. First one off the bat. The low hanging fruits might be the good one here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really
that
like
tree
that.
may be fairly bare. I don't know. It might be because it is pretty specific.
Yeah,
But
man, I like what you were doing just then, Brent. Because I mean, when you go into the original context of excommunication, when you're bringing into the "She was my heaven," but now up to now it just hurts like hell. Now I'm stuck with
yeah,
all the excommunication, just trying to find the different ways to kind of tie into the original meaning of it with a twist.
mm-hmm.
That's
It's
awesome, though.
Okay, how about there could be a really great opportunity for listicles here
yeah.
that start with X.
Mhm. It
You know,
yeah, man. It's well, and I think to your point, Johnny, about being more of a rock thing. I think there are many country songs that kind of say almost "She's my religion." I mean, what you know, FGL had "Holy."
Yeah,
High
holy.
on
I was
loving
thinking
you,
holy
so
a second
"Holy."
ago.
Kane Brown had one like kind of "Worship You" or something,
yeah.
And
and so
heaven, right?
yeah, heaven, and so country plays with that as well. And I think it would work for a rock thing because you could. It does kind of make sense for a. I just finished reading. What's his name? Huge Desmond Child. Uh,
Mm.
Mm,
someone I know from the songwriting pro community coaching client. He sent me Desmond Child's autobiography, "Living on a
mm,
Prayer." So he wrote a lot of that rock stuff, like Hall of Fame, all the halls of fame songwriter. So he like wrote with Alice Cooper and all these people. So I think of it in that kind of like,
yes.
how would Alice Cooper say like Excommunication, right? Or a rock band, like a hair rock band or just a rock band. Like you could definitely go, yes, "She was my religion," and just do the I've been cut off from my religion, excommunication,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and go like just straight at it that way. I think would be cool without doing the communication, like "she won't text me back" kind of thing, but just go hard at "she was my religion. Now I'm excommunicated," which you can do. It feels more like a rock thing that way because maybe
Yeah.
country just ain't
Mhm.
that Catholic. I don't know. This dude just plain white Protestant Jesus, man. I don't know. But so that could be that's one way I hear
So
it.
okay, so but like so what other words can start with X, right? Like
Yeah.
excitement,
Oh, that's what you're talking about, the
expatriate,
listicle.
X.
Okay.
Yeah, like you could
Hmm.
be like boom, boom, and now like God's excommunication. It could be fun like that. Like
Yeah.
you were bounced out.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
What
Cut
if
off.
excommunication is a good thing?
Yeah. It's like, man, yeah. Because I feel like you have to tie in kind of the elephant in the room, which is the religious aspect of it. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. And it's just like, what kind of communication are you getting from your ex? It used to be this, it used to be that. Now it's just excommunication. It's all I hear is like slamming doors and squealing tires and
That's
chatter,
a cool concept
gossip
of that.
behind the back, that kind of stuff. It's like, and I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think
Well,
of a
I mean, they
communication
say
rhyme
they
too.
say they say communication is the key to a good relationship,
Right?
right? But that's not true in excommunication.
Yeah.
Like it could, I can tell you this right now. I can tell you in my household, there's zero excommunication. Like that's frowned upon
Yeah.
in this establishment.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
could
we
go
ain't
that
talking to
way.
them.
Yeah. So it's
Uh-uh.
all about the communication, right? Or no? Oh
No
no,
ex.
communicating with your exes. Yeah.
No excommunication,
Yes.
man.
Oh, okay. No excommunication.
Like
That's
no more
interesting.
changing phone numbers and changing all the contact names. No more. No more going back through old pictures. No, none of that.
None of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you do not talk to you do not talk about or to your exes. That's
Yep.
interesting
So
too.
okay, so there's an interesting angle because I will tell you this. I have freaking lived this. I want to be in the room when we write it, okay? Like things that I did not understand, right? Like I'm like, what are you talking? Like you have to go through and purge all the pictures from your Facebook, and I'm like, what? Like I've never done that,
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
talking from whenever Facebook started until when I met Janelle, and I'm like. You realize how much freaking time that's going to take me to do? Are you out of your
Are
mind?
you saying I'm not worth it?
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh, there you go. So you're gonna do that? I'm like, son of a bitch. Like so, that, and you could go down that road and,
Yeah.
and talk about all that. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like this, like, no, all because of what? Excommunication.
What if it's like, yeah, so there are layers to it. I think that's a really interesting thing because yeah, it's like maybe because she's my heaven, and she's my religion or whatever, there's gonna be no excommunication. Like I ain't talking to my
Yeah.
Yeah,
exes no more, right?
for sure.
Yeah.
So that's more of a positive kind of thing of it going, I'm cutting off all the old and I'm with the new happily, and I'm, cutting out all that. No, I'm not talking to exes. So that would be interesting too. And, or, what is it? Flirting with excommunication. What if I'm flirting with excommunication? Like I'm with a girl, she's jealous, and here comes an old flame. Oh boy, if there's communication, I'm flirting with excommunication. Like I'm
Yeah,
not.
like a fun way to write, now would be a good time to hold my hand,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but like fun and kind of, yeah, like, okay, I better not be talking to my exes or I'm going to get, there'll be more than one kind of excommunication going on here.
For sure. You could also do that from
Throw,
the
throw
it's
my butt
late and
out of
I'm
heaven.
lonely. You could also
Mm-hmm.
do that from that aspect of like it's late, I'm lonely, I'm looking at old pictures, I'm flirting with excommunication, like thinking
Yeah.
about texting her
Ooh,
saying I miss you. Remember that time we did this? Remember that 5'3" Silverado we were going down the road holding hands at that stop sign and stuff like that. Just all the different things, trying to bring back memories with it too.
And what if that's
That
like,
could be
that's
of
good.
going
course
to,
you never know because you can't see into your Silverado.
and what if that
Yeah, there
is
you
like,
go.
and that's going to, yeah, exactly. For all anyone else knows, you're still in there because I got so much tint, no one can tell you aren't.
That's
But
true,
what if
man.
it, but and I dig that, like tempted with excommunication,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
but what if it's like, and I know that's going to put me through hell because I know why we're exes and I know this is not going to last, and so I'm going to end up going through hell, right? Excommunication, because I don't know how that works in like Catholicism, because so I'll admit ignorance. Like I don't, if you're kicked out of the church, are they kind of saying you're cut off from God or you just a church? I don't know, but I think there's probably enough you can play off going, and I'll end up going through hell, but I'm still playing with fire and excommunication. I think that could
Ooh,
be a
that could
cool
be
angle on
fun.
it too, man. Good call, Landon.
That's
Um,
cool.
like, yeah,
That
That's
could be
cool.
fun.
I'm gonna do something I shouldn't. Um, yeah. Eh, Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking about this. Just came into my mind. This could be stupid, but
There to
dare
suck.
to suck. Right?
Yep.
I remember watching Kevin Smith give. He's got a lot of talks. The guy who did Clerks and everything
Uh-huh.
like that, directed Clerks. He's got some. He went around schools and did a lot of talks. And one of his conversations is about his interactions with Prince. Right,
Okay.
Prince hired him to do some directing and stuff. It is super funny. But at one of the point, and you got to imagine like Kevin Smith talking about this. Prince asks him a question and he doesn't answer it right. I think it was about religion. Like Prince is like, do you believe in Jesus? Did you give your life to Jesus? And Kevin's like, well, I don't know. He's like, okay. Prince goes, I'm going to put you in this pile over here. And he's like, well, what's in that pile? Like, what? You can picture it. What's in that pile? So that'd be kind of fun. Like I can be in this pile over here. Or I can be in excommunication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
funny.
Maybe it's flirting with. Maybe it's just about being a good boy. Right?
Yeah.
Like taking out the trash. Like opening the door. Like all these things that she expects you to do. And maybe it's like the consummate bachelor's got to be schooled now because this is the one girl that's got his
Yeah.
number. And so
For
it's either
sure.
that or you go in this pile over here. Excommunication.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, what if the ex is coming like to you, like there's excommunication coming my way, kind of thing. Like she's starting to text me, she's starting to come around more. This guy didn't go looking for it, but maybe he's tempted,
Ooh.
maybe he's not. I wonder if there's a way to, because communication can go either way or both ways. What, and maybe he's like, then he's going, no, I ain't messing with no excommunication, because I'm not throwing myself out of the heaven I got. Like I found heaven or whatever. I'm right. Everything's
Excommunication
good.
and a destination.
Like
Yeah.
I've moved on. No more excommunication for me, man. No. So that could be a
Yeah.
way of just saying, I'm gonna be true to my girl. I mean, you are talking to the ex, or maybe depending on how you serve it up, maybe it's like talking about it. It's kind of a third person. She
It
You
could
could
calls
just
me,
be
also
an
do it.
whatever.
empowerment song of moving on. Like, once they become an ex,
Mhm.
they're an ex. Like, and you don't go back, because we always seem to wax on the positive only
Yeah.
about the exes. We forget all the negative crap and we only remember the
Mhm.
positive stuff. So you could really do a sort of put that under a microscope, I think, and talk about like all these good times that you remember, and then maybe you ambush them like, no, but that there's a reason she's an ex, like,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what it is, but I live by one rule, no
Yeah.
excommunication.
Yeah.
It
No
hit me as
excommunication.
well. You could also come from it from an aspect of like, you were talking to your girl and everything was great. It felt like you guys were up in heaven and you've been patient with her, but up to now, her excommunication has been getting to you. It's getting under your skin. You could also do it with
Oh,
her talking to her ex as well.
okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Laying
Kind of
in that
laying down the
aspect.
law.
So
And
like,
that's cool. And that could work either gender. Like the girl could be laying down the law to the guy, or the guy could be laying down the law to the girl.
absolutely.
Um,
and that question, like, okay, could be like exploring when is the right time to draw that line in the sand.
For
mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Is there a certain amount of time, or is it just about how you feel, or like, yeah, because there's a million people with those stories, like, oh well, he always comes over and helps me with my cars. I'm like, oh hell no, like,
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
and that might be the hook right there. Hell
No.
no, like,
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you could go into tapped into like the trying to be patient, trying to trust the process, but up till now, it's finally getting under my skin with your excommunication.
Yeah.
Um,
I like
And
that.
in the sin, excommunication, sin kind of, maybe it's like, or you could take it another way too. Ain't no sin with a little excommunication. Like, hey,
ooh,
we can still be friends, whatever. Or maybe it's like, she swore there ain't no sin with a little excommunication. Well, turns out there was. If it's a cheating thing,
Yeah,
yeah,
like, oh, she said just a little just a little excommunication. Well, guess what? You're excommunicated too, or he, or
yeah, and there's your
whatever.
trouble.
Yeah, like
yeah.
shouldn't have trusted that. That's interesting
We
too.
It
think
could be a
South
girl you
Africa.
missed too.
Mhm.
Could be a good ex. You guys didn't want it to go down, so it's like, hey, girl, how do you feel about little excommunication?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
yeah.
And what if
No, never
thinking of
mind.
like
I
a
don't like that
rock
one as much
thing?
as it came out. You ever
Well,
had one of
let's
those where you go to let it
let's
out
Ladies
and
and
then it
gentlemen,
comes
no.
out
plenty
and
of
you're
that
like,
crap.
oh man.
What
It
about
feels so
this?
much better when it's
Um,
within. You finally get it out and you hear it. You're like, no.
No,
yeah, it's like
I
the
don't feel like
opposite of
that.
like you thought it was gonna be a silent fart, then everyone heard it. You're like, dang it. Um,
100%.
it's like the
Yep.
opposite of that. Um,
That's awesome.
so what if okay, to talk about somebody being like, yeah, you're my religion, but I've been kind of kicked out of it, right? I've been excommunicated. But what if it's like you are a false religion? And this excommunication ends up being a good thing for me. Like I was all into you and you were, I worshiped you and whatever, but now I see you are a false God. And so excommunication
Oh,
kind of becomes a good thing. And I'm not going back to
freedom.
you. So there's not going to be any excommunication. If there's a way to make that, like,
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you anymore. That was bad for me. Like
Like,
it
thank
was all
God for
mind games
excommunication.
and yeah, that kind of thing could be kind of cool too. Yeah.
That just went around the world and hit me in the back of the head, Landon. Thank God for
Excommunication.
excommunication.
People
That's
be like,
so
what?
good right there, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, huh?
Um,
I like
it
that.
could be,
Thank God for excommunication.
let's see. Yeah, there's
Future excommunication.
the excommunication. Sorry.
Like your future ex-wife.
Future
Yeah.
excommunication. Oh, there
Here's
you
my
go.
future ex-wife. That could be a fun party song with the
That's
boys,
awesome. Oh,
You just
yeah.
walked in. That looks like some future excommunication.
Yeah.
Salvation, a little excommunication. Trying to think of those Asian rhymes that may unlock something too, because sometimes that's a fun way to get out of thought. Is just going, what rhymes with that? Oh, there you go.
There's no
Station.
salvation in excommunication.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I need some salvation from this excommunication. She's blowing me up and wanting me back, but I know we both go through hell if that happens. But I'm tempted. I need some salvation from this excommunication.
Ooh,
Yeah.
salvation from the
Yeah,
excommunication.
Yeah,
Even
that's cool.
better. Yeah.
like stop calling me woman. Oh my gosh, I'm lonely. Stop it. I'm weak.
Yeah.
Um, we know how this movie ends.
Well, okay. What if it's what if it like springboarding off of that? What if it's what, hey God, is this excommunication? What if it's like chance? It's a small town, right? Chance run-ins. Like you go to Walmart, there she is. Like
Mhm.
she's at a stoplight, she's at the parent teachers
Oh,
conference or whatever.
Yeah.
She's at the app. Like you keep running into her and you're like, what the hell?
Like, God, you trying to tell me
Like,
something?
like it's he
yeah,
sending you signs? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Is this a sign? or or is it excommunication?
That's funny.
Like
that's a
what?
cool concept.
That
That's a really
is.
cool
That
concept.
is. Or what kind of signals is she giving me here? Maybe it's like, is that she, wait, is she trying to tell me something? Is that like a subtle, like, open door here? What's going on with this excommunication?
Like I fully trust you. You'll let me know what to say when there's excommunication or there's
Yeah. And
trying to find an internal with communication too.
I know it's not the easiest one. Okay, and for some reason, In Vogue popped into my mind. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Like that '90s
Yeah.
Huh?
girl group, whatever. Like a kind of female empowerment of like, oh no, you don't, no excommunication, or you're gonna get thrown out of heaven because I'm heaven, and you're gonna get thrown out. These will be, if there's any
Oh,
excommunication, like just a female empowerment
kind of like a
pop.
Lamberty kind of like, yeah,
Yeah, so it could be like really pop or country too, but it feels like, I don't know, for some reason old In Vogue. Popped,
for sure.
popped
It could
into my
also be
head.
done from
I
like
look at it as
the
a female empowerment. Like it's all about look at I
mhm.
like you're never gonna have it as good as you have it with me because I'm gonna do this and this and this and this and nobody's gonna worship you more than me, but no excommunication.
Yeah, exactly. Or I'm heaven. I'm the one you need to be worshiping, right? Like
I'll
putting
keep you
herself
up
on
in
that
the
pedestal.
clouds.
Like you should know the
Yeah,
heaven you
Yeah, yeah.
got. Yeah.
for
And
sure.
I'll keep you up in the clouds.
so stop that
You can't get
excommunication.
away. You can't get away with it in country, but yeah, Holy Grail can be thrown in there. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for
roll.
sure.
Uh-huh. So I think that could be kind of fun too, is like not like sounded very poppy and fun, but also just basically like stop talking to your exes. Or you're gonna get thrown
Yeah.
out of this heaven. That could be kind of a thing too, It's like this is a situation. You stop this excommunication.
Well, and you just did what you asked, what you were trying to figure out how to do at the beginning of this pod was how to use excommunication and excommunication
Yeah,
together. And like, stop the excommunication or you're going to live excommunication,
exactly.
right? In the
Yeah.
church of me.
Yeah.
Like there,
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
don't know how right words to make that work, but that you've got you've got
If you
that's the
set it
angle.
up
Right?
like, stop the call, stop taking her text, stop taking her whatever and all this stuff, you're gonna get, or gonna get thrown out of my heaven. It's up to you to stop this excommunication. It's up to you, stop this excommunication or something. Going, oh, both, like if you can
See,
do
and you
that
did
kind
it
of
with the
thing,
same word. You didn't have to say it twice. You said it
right?
Hmm.
once,
Just set it
and
up
it
and
means
say it with
both
just the
now.
one time. You go, oh, okay.
That's why you're a lyricist, Brent.
Yeah,
That was good.
I'm out of
That because I
patience
sing
with
like a
your
horse and can't write
excommunication.
melodies. It was more I'm a lyricist mainly through process of elimination. Can't do this, can't do that, can't do that. I do words. Um,
That's awesome.
man, is there
Yeah,
anything else
there's
that
We
so
have a
many
lot of
cool
dudes
ways you
at it.
could twist this concept too. That's really cool because I mean, originally when you hear excommunication, your mind instantly goes to the original meaning, and then you hear the second meaning, and then you keep diving in. It's cool. There's so many different
yeah,
layers you could do
and
this
how
with.
many ways you can twist them up and
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
like a
And we got a lot of looks at him, you guys.
yeah.
Like that was solid.
And one thing I want to point
That
oh
out
was
yeah,
too is like we started with just one person's point of view, like a character, like oh he's communicating with an ex, and then you kind of walk it through and go, what's every other person's point of view in this situation? Like, oh, what if it's from
Mm.
the girl's point of view? Okay, what if it's from the guy's point? What if it's from the ex's point of view? What is from, and you just try to, and that's part of walking it around the block and looking at it from all the different angles to go, well, what if we're thinking from this other side of the situation? So that's a good way to just take other looks at it.
oh yeah,
Many
You
may
know,
not work for any of us.
when I was going through that whole Facebook thing with Janelle, that was actually an approach that she took. She's like, you talk to anybody. Like she thinks I'm batshit crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and explain the situation and we'll see. And so we just walked up to this random dude at her apartment complex. And he looked at me and the eyes said, I feel you, brother. But the words were like, you got to ditch the pictures. You know what I mean? You got to go do it. Like, because he's like, it doesn't, basically the face was like, it doesn't have to make sense. Like, it just has to happen. And I'm like, and of course she's like, W on the Janelle side. Like,
yeah. That's funny.
That's
She's
awesome.
like, it's not about making it make sense, Johnny. It's about making it work.
Yeah. He didn't say that. That's what he said it with his face.
Right.
Logic's out the window.
Yeah, it was as if his own girl asked him, and he knew exactly what to do. And I was like, "What are you doing? Which side are you on?"
You can make it make sense, or you can make it work. There we go.
Well, Landon, buddy, congrats on your cuts, man. What's going on with your artist career?
Yeah, where
now?
can people find you, follow you, fall in love with you and your music, all that good stuff?
Well, I got a website, landonwall.com. It's got the links to all my social media. It's kind of like a hyperlink. You can get on anything. I got a bunch of songs coming out this year on my artist project. As far as the writing stuff, just, writing for some really cool artists right now. Got a lot of cool friends of mine that are cutting some of the stuff I've been writing with them. So I've been really excited about that. But, just following whatever the Lord's plan is,
And you got a regular gig. You mentioned before we hopped on here, you got a regular kind of Friday night gig in Nashville. People are in town. They can stop by and tip you.
Yes, sir. Since I was 17, I've had a residency at Margaritaville. 8 to 12 on Friday nights. If y'all are there, come see me and my band.
Excellent.
Is that Margaritaville on Broadway or Margaritaville the hotel?
On Broadway. I had some people show up at the hotel once. They're like, I don't hear a band here at all. I was like, no, you're one street down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. There's two. That's what you got to know. Awesome. All right, so Friday night, Margaritaville on Broadway.
And Adam DeWeber, thank you for sending this in. There's more to it than I thought at first. So, which is why
I know
y'all
got a little sad in the eyes right in the beginning, but look what happened.
But that's why we do this.
When we decided to dare to suck.
That's right.
Hey.
All right, y'all send in your song titles to info@daredevilproduction.com, and maybe you're going to get a badass like Landon Wall to come and help out and flesh out some of those ideas. That this podcast exists because we want you to win, so keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.